From the launch pad to the roadways, the impact of this Arctic blast stretching across central Florida. Severe Weather Team 9 breaks down the preparations underway with freezing temperatures around the corner.
I'm not expecting just a freeze, but a rare hard freeze widespread by Saturday night for this weather alert weekend. The dangerous wind chills that are also coming, trust me on this one, plus you could also see some snow flurries.
Yep, you heard that right. It's been 16 years since we've had cold temperatures like these that will slam into Orlando on back-to-back days. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth, joined with certified chief meteorologist Tom Terry and Severe Weather Center 9. And Tom, these are pictures from January of 2010 when Boy Scouts scooped up snow at the Daytona International Speedway. There you see they made that mini snowman.
There he is down there.
And then take a look at this next picture we found.
There's even more. That's right there at the Speedway.
And then this. Tom Terry rules.
You know, they pulled it up, and I do remember that because I was like, I don't remember that. But yeah, that was from the sleet that we had. We may get a little dusting of a little snow here and there, but the cold is going to be so much more impactful for everybody.
The frost that we expect will come on Monday morning because that could delay flights, you know, the winds.
Yeah, right, yeah. No frost for Sunday morning. It's just too much wind. Monday, the winds will come down a little bit, maybe some patchy frost then. We had a lot of frost the last couple of days. I know it was a lot this morning.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me walk over, Greg. We have this rare, crazy weather alert day, not just for the weekend, but for Monday morning as well. So a very cold Groundhog's Day. And a lot of it comes from the random element, the fly in the ointment. That's this guy right here. This is almost like a winter hurricane that's going to spin like a top off of the Carolina coast. If we didn't have this, it would be cold, but it's going to be adding a lot of wind, and this is going to be just yanking down this brutally cold air. So without that, we would not have a weekend that's going to look like this. This is the first extreme cold watch that we have in effect. That means wind chills dropping down into the single digits. And I've been here since '96. I've never had single digits on the wind chill close to Metro Orlando, maybe up in North Florida, but not down here. So winds up to 35 miles an hour. Remember, it's the wind for me. That makes the difference if you're outdoors. So winds up to 35, temperatures in the 20s. Make sure everyone has shelter because this is going to be deadly cold. This is going to be penetrating really cold stuff. Now, Sunday morning, the actual temperature, that's why we're really going to, unfortunately, I think, lose a lot of plants, trees, and we're going to have a hard time keeping a lot of the citrus growing because the winds are going to be blowing fairly steady. 24 in Apopka, 25 Orlando, Kissimmee, easily records for Sunday morning. And we have to kind of go back to 2010 to find a cold double stretch like that. And also, as that low cranks up off the Carolinas and brings them a foot of snow, we could have just a little dusting here. There's going to be a lot of dry air, so it's going to be limited, but don't be surprised along the Gulf Coast here, Tampa, maybe off northeastern coast here for a few flurries. But by far, the biggest issue is going to be the cold. And we're going to talk much more about some unusual things you may need to do around your house to get you ready for this, Greg.
All right, and remember, don't cover your plants with plastic. Needs to be cloth or burlap because that can actually burn the leaves. You can receive alerts like this one just by downloading our free Channel 9 weather app. It's available in the Apple App Store and on Google Play. So much information that we'll continue to deliver for you to prepare. Covering our Space Coast, our big chill could complicate NASA's plans for that critical test ahead of the agency's Artemis II moon mission, which is much anticipated. This is a live look at the beautiful Artemis II moon rocket sitting on the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center, largest rocket NASA's ever built. Teams are preparing for that wet dress rehearsal. It's called that because teams have plans to actually fuel the rocket as they practice for the real thing. Channel 9's Melanie Holt live at the Kennedy Space Center. Mel, this afternoon, NASA said it is still targeting Saturday for this critical test.
It is, and they moved this wet dress from February 2nd to this coming Saturday, but it remains to be seen whether or not the weather will cooperate and they'll get this critical test done. NASA is still targeting this Saturday for a critical wet dress rehearsal or a simulated launch of its SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft ahead of NASA's Artemis II flight around the moon with astronauts. But uncharacteristically cold weather could complicate the effort.
Because the criteria for propellant loading also includes the wet dress. And they can't load if the 24-hour average temperature is less than 41.4 degrees, okay, at two specific levels.
During the rehearsal, teams will demonstrate their ability to load more than 700,000 gallons of cryogenic propellants into the rocket. They'll also conduct a launch countdown. Artemis launch director Charlie Blackwell Thompson explained the process just before rollout.
We'll go through our day of launch configuration, and provided everything's nominal, the launch director, myself, I'll make the decision to send the closeout crew out to the pad, and we will do the final closeouts for launch.
The Artemis II crew remains in quarantine ahead of their 10-day trip around the moon.
They have to ensure that these astronauts come home safe, that this is a safe and successful mission. The astronauts come home safe to their families is the absolute top priority.
Even if NASA is able to conduct the wet dress on Saturday, they will have a lot of data to review, and that could mean even rolling back the SLS rocket and the Orion spacecraft back to the VAB for some upgrades or changes before heading back to the launch pad. We're live here at the Kennedy Space Center. Melanie Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Mel, we know that you and your team will keep us posted on this huge moment. Seminole County officials getting ready for the large cold snap this weekend as well. Seminole County officials telling us today that they have shelters on standby for the cold snap and are preparing for every possible scenario. They're used to getting ready for storms, and this is really not much different. They say if you don't have to leave your home this weekend, you should not.
If you don't have to get out, if you hear that there's ice on the road, and your station as well as others are very good about putting out road information. If you hear about that, of course, take extra time if you have to get to work. If you don't have to be on the roadways, just don't.
All right, that's Alan Harris. To find ways you can stay warm this weekend, if you don't have heat that works, we have plenty of shelters on our website at WFTV.com. Our live Severe Weather Team 9 coverage continues now with Channel 9's J.J. Burton, who joins us live there in Seminole County. And J.J., you heard the mention of ice on the roads, and FDOT road rangers told you they found ice on I-4 yesterday morning.
Yeah, shocking, right? Ice on the roads here in Florida, but that is definitely the case. And in fact, FDOT crews spent today preparing and planning for possibility of more ice coming with the weather.
I had ice on my windshield this morning.
She and a lot of people across Central Florida. And according to the weather experts, more ice on cars and possibly on the roads are headed our way. Florida is on the verge of an intense historic cold snap, with temperatures plunging to levels not seen in many, many years. And some say they're prepared by
stay inside.
I'm the smart one, stay in.
And they say that's the safe thing to do because roads could get icy. FDOT crews were out using these trucks to treat the roads with brine to prevent the ice from bonding on the roads. And here are some pictures of crews preparing the brine to spray. Here's some vital tips for those who have to get on the roads from FDOT. Check your tires, drive slowly, drive safe, and keep a distance from you and the other cars on the road. And remember the move over law.
Slow down and have good tires. That's all you can do.
And back out here live, you're looking at the road here in Lake Mary. You can see some of the cars coming through. So also another important note for you all. The bridges and overpasses, those can also be extra dangerous when it's ice, so be careful on those as well. Reporting live in Lake Mary, I'm J.J. Burton, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Excellent reminder. Doesn't have to have precipitation for slickness either. The cold with the tires, the rubber, and the very cold pavement or asphalt also can make things very slippery. Now, during this Arctic blast, some school districts are considering limiting outdoor activities for their students next week. Volusia County Public Schools telling Channel 9 they will likely limit outdoor activities Monday and Tuesday. Orange County Public Schools say that all outdoor activities will be relocated indoors as needed. Marion County Public Schools say PE teachers have the option to move activities indoors throughout next week. We have reached out to all other school districts and are waiting to hear back on their plans. And to see all of our Arctic blast information with resources on keeping your family safe, also that link now where you can send us pictures of whatever's happening in your neighborhood as that deep freeze comes in. Download the WFTV weather app. We have up-to-the-minute weather information in your area. Also, WFTV.com, a great resource.